and she's spokesperson for the government on the transition team. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. You stand accused of
engaging. Thank you so much.
You stand accused.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great, pleasure. You stand accused as a government of engaging in the very thing you disowned or denounced in 2016. Why are you making last-minute or midnight appointments?
Once again, good evening to you, Maru, and to your cherished listeners. I took time off to listen to you and my brother Felix Kwachofosu, and I understand his struggle. Did you realize that he could not answer a single question that you put to him? And I understand the struggle because he was the same person who was used to advocate for the fact that His Excellency, the former president and president-elect, had his mandate intact until the end of 6th January 2017. So probably if this is the tangent that the incoming government had wanted to take, I believe they would have thought of taking a new spokesperson, because at this moment it makes it difficult for their spokesperson, because I don't have to say he is contradicting himself. Your cherished listeners, the general public who have been watching his videos, giving very robust arguments in favor of the government exhausting its term till the midnight of 6 January 2017. It's here talking about irregular appointments. For the avoidance of doubt and for the records, even the references that he made about the Honorable Osafo writing to them at the time on 17th December 2016 to hold certain activities, I am putting it on record that even upon that advice, the NDC at the time, led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, proceeded to make appointments. They proceeded to even go to the extent of signing mining concessions. They were committing themselves to mining agreements, including Exxon Cubic, among others. And to the best of my knowledge, when you are accusing an outgoing government of some of these things that they are talking about, I believe the crux of the matter, the questions we should be asking is that, is the government doing anything illegal? If the government is doing something illegal, it does not matter whether it is taking place within the transition period or for the past 8 years. Anything that is illegal ought to be prosecuted if you so desire. And I believe the population of our country will stand with them if that is the tangent they want to do. But if that is not the case, they should not hide behind the transition team to place an embargo on the constitutional mandate of President Nana Addo. Why am I saying this, Umaru? Let me remind you that if you look at all the activities that they are complaining about, to the best of my knowledge, these are activities featured in the 2024 budget year. From November 2023, the budget was sent to Parliament. They are part of that Parliament that approved the budget. You know, we had a hung Parliament. So whatever budget that was submitted, they had the opportunity to scrutinize, do the appropriation, go to the committee. Every aspect of the process that led to the passage of the budget, they were integral parts of that. Not just that. When the finance minister went before Parliament for reassignment of our budget during the mid-year budget review, they were part of the same budget, Parliament that passed that expenditure. I am surprised that at this point in time, if there is an activity or an expenditure captured in these two budgets that I am referring to in this instance, and the NDC fully participated in them, and were expecting that the responsive or the ministries that are responsible to execute those programs and projects had up to the end of President Nana Addo mandate to do things. Why would they turn around all of a sudden and say there are some irregular activities? When we went to the transition team meetings, we refer specifically to illegality. Illegality. If there is anything illegal, then it gives the incoming government every opportunity and the blessing of all the laws of this country to go ahead and look for the perpetrators and put them to books. But when you ask him every question about why were they also doing last-minute appointments, national service allowance increments, do they know the implications of increasing national service allowance by 60% on the budget year of the incoming government at the time in 2017? Were all those activities done based on malice? If no, why are they turning around all of a sudden and expecting that upon this election, President Akufo-Addo's administration, then they will say, at some point, they will come and say we shouldn't pay salaries this month because we need to leave every money available in government chest for them to do whatever they want to do in the next political regime. Then that is what they are likely to refer to. Okay. But you and I know that the mandate of the transition team is guided by the President's Transition Act. It does not give them any other powers beyond what the Act has stipulated. And the President's mandate is guaranteed by the Constitution. So I thought Felix was coming to you to refer to specific instances where illegalities have occurred, for which they have evidence to show that before the election, these activities were not on the ministry's or agency's timetable. They did not embark on any due diligence. These are midnight activities done in a rush. For instance, they always go ahead to say mass recruitment in the police, mass recruitment in the health sector. Remember when we started this Agenda 111 project? The Ministry of Health, a few months ago, led by Honorable Bernardo Koboy, came out and said the government had, the ministry had received financial clearance from the finance ministry to recruit nurses. They opened the portals, the 2020 up to 2022 academic year batch went ahead to go and fill in and apply. They have gone through a lot of processes and started issuing letters as at October. Are you saying that these young Ghanaians, nurses, and other health professionals whose political parties or political affiliation did not matter because they have received the requisite training out there so that they'll be able to help our country, all of a sudden, because there is change in government, all these nurses should be made to go and stay home? Is that what they are saying? Are they saying that when the Inspector General of Police and the Ghana Police Service brought out a schedule for physical screening of young Ghanaians who had applied to enter the Ghana Police Service and gave us all the locations at all the 16 regional capitals where they were going to do these screenings and selections for these individuals? Even before the last quarter of the year, they were not aware of these activities. Are they saying there are other activities beyond what has been captured by any of these ministries and agencies within the budget year and within the period?
Very well.
If none of that has occurred, I don't know what he means by irregular.
Minister for Information.
For the avoidance of doubt, the transition team has not, to the best of my knowledge, and for the record, the transition team has not halted government payments and recruitment. What was said was that if you find any illegal activity, bring it to the attention of the team. We will address it on a case-by-case basis.
Very well.
So nothing untoward has happened. If they know about those illegalities, it does not matter when they occur. Okay. Whether in 2017 or 2024, they have the resources and opportunity to pursue legal actions and other legitimate actions when they take office on 7 January 2025.
Minister, just like I did to your predecessor in office, Felix Kwatio, I'm going to read for you also a publication on Modern Ghana, 22nd December 2016. It's an article by former Attorney General, former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu, and it says, President John Mahama's last midnight appointments, contracts, and recruitments. And there's a part in there that I'm going to read for you. He writes in his article that not unexpectedly, the transition team, and this refers to your team, of the incoming government, issues a statement stating that, quote, these appointments have been done contrary to an earlier agreement at the Transition Committee's meeting of December 19th, at which meeting it was agreed that such appointments would be done subject to consultation with the Presidential Transition Committee, unquote. The statement adds that, quote, we would therefore like to serve notice that incoming administration reserves the right to review these and other high-profile appointments, recruitments and contracts being embarked upon in these final days contrary to normal conventions associated with presidential transitions and consultation mechanisms agreed, unquote. This publication here simply means that what you are doing tonight, or what you are justifying and defending tonight, you were against 8 years ago. How do you marry the two?
Omaru, to the best of my knowledge, you are saying that in 2016 the transition team agreed. I have been nominated or appointed as a spokesperson for government in this transition team. And I am telling you that on record, no such agreement has happened.
Forget the agreement. I'm actually not even interested in the agreement. I'm interested in the fact that you at the time you said that the appointments were one, contrary to an earlier agreement at the transition team. That's one. But you also said that they are not right and you will review them. You said that, quote, we would therefore like to serve notice that the coming administration reserves the right to review these and other high-profile appointments, recruitments, and contracts. And I'm saying that this is similar to what the new transition team is saying, and which you do not agree with, but which is what you penned down 8 years ago. How do you marry your position then versus your position now?
That look at all the activities subsequent to that said letter and that said communication. It should tell you that information was only advisory. And when the government at the time decided that they were not going to comply, there was nothing more to do if you don't have any illegalities. Because at the end of the day, it will be within the constitutional mandate guaranteed under Article 57 of the 1992 Constitution, which vests executive powers in the president. I believe if they know that it is contrary to law, contrary to constitution, they have the benefit after 7 January to do ratification, to choose to prosecute, or whatever activity they intend to embark on. But I am saying if you also have the opportunity to look into these matters after 7 January 2025, then there is no need for noise now. That is all I am saying. I am not saying they do not reserve the right to look into it when they get the opportunity.
Okay.
But I'm saying when we gave such communication in the past, you made us know, based on Felix's own communications and communication by Honorable Ayaraga, that those communications were only advisory and that it does not accept or place an embargo on the mandate of the president at the time. How is it possible that those same individuals are here today and saying what did not apply then should apply today? We have also learned from that experience.
Okay.
And by convention, we are also following suit and saying that the mandate of the president ends on the midnight of 6 January 2025. And if there is anything untoward, there is anything illegal, by the grace of God, 7 January, it's all in their hands, it's all green.
Okay.
They would have the opportunity and the authority to look into this matter.
Thank you so much.
To the best of my knowledge, if you investigate, if you check the facts as they exist at the various MDAs, you will know that there is nothing like illegal or irregular appointments.
Well.
If there are any, they should take them out.
Thank you so much. That's Fati Abubakar. She's Minister for Information and spokesperson of the transition team, the side that is the outgoing government.